Good morning, friends. It's Bob again. We're on this Advent journey and we're on day 17. And this has just been a thrill for me to be able to take this ride with you through the titles that are given Jesus by the prophet Isaiah in Isaiah 9:6, and this wonderful counselor, mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And we are talking about everlasting Father. And last Sunday, we talked about the tension that we have in that somehow fatherhood, we all are wired for having a good relationship with our fathers, but so infrequently that happens. And so I want to talk to you about something that I think is subtly sort of creeping in to us, and that we just assume it, we just accept it without any type of discernment. Is this idea that somehow that our dads and the generations that come before us, well, they just didn't know. They just didn't know anything. And so therefore, and it's a theme in constantly in movies, is mom and dad are putting this pressure on me to be this or that, and I've got to be me, and I've got to step outside the family mold, and that's the place where happiness is truly going to be experienced by me. And so it's everywhere. It's in the place that comes to my mind here is was it Crazy Rich Asians? And obviously in that movie there's a very controlling matriarch that's kind of ruling the roost. But the idea here is that it's permeating throughout our culture, is that our parents don't really know what's really good for us. And sometimes that's actually true, that sometimes our parents are kind of archaic, or they're behind the times, or they're expecting things of us that we don't really want to deliver, their expectations of us. And again, I want to acknowledge that sometimes that's true. But I think that the idea here now is that automatically we just assume that our parents and those in authority over us have no authority over us, and that they don't have our best in mind, and we don't really have to go with what they say. And so going with the word that I gave yesterday is that what is that the Father that Jesus is revealing, what he says goes, is I think that I see this subtle sort of shift in us that we've stopped looking to the Father to say what really goes, to ask him those ultimate questions, to say, how and what have you really made me for, and how do you want to spend me, and that what is your what is your best for me, what direction do you want me to go, and to truly come underneath that and submit to that, instead of saying, really, I've got what I want and God's got what he wants, and really I'm going to win this argument, because that's really the way that the culture is going. I want to ask you today, where is it that you have made subtle compromises where what God says is not really what goes with you, and how has that crept in to your life? Because it's that place of submission and surrender to God that brings freedom to us, and it's the place where the enemy wants to sort of deceive us out of that. It's coming out from under God's authority just to live as we please. And that always hurts us. So reflect on that today with me as we go on this Advent journey together. I'm so grateful that you're here with me in this, and I will see you tomorrow.